Katy Perry recently met Pope Francis during a trip to the Vatican. The pop star praised the pontiff for his compassionate heart and inclusivity. Perry was at the Vatican over the weekend to speak at a conference on scientific advancements in healthcare.
Ladies and gentlemen, from a catacomb buried deep beneath the streets of the New World Order, this is the Remnant Underground. And now, here's your host, Michael J.Matt.
I know what you're going to say. The only reason Pope Francis invited Katy Perry to speak at the Vatican was because he's trying to convert her. I know that because, Jesus ate with the prostitutes and the tax collectors and all of that, and Francis is just like the Lord, right? Katy Perry, who, by the way, her real name was Catherine Hudson, and she rose to fame back in 2008, remember, on the strength of her cute little ditty about lesbianism called I Kissed a Girl, which was nominated for the Best Song of 2009 at the Kids' Choice Awards ceremony. Kids' Choice, Rob.
I like that.
Isn't that nice? Yeah, I Kissed a Girl, up for a nomination at the Kids' Choice Awards. So she's been promoting sodomy and gay marriage and all this stuff to her millions of little kids or little fans for years, for a long time, for 10 years. So thank goodness somebody's finally trying to convert her. The Holy Father, that's why he brought her to the Vatican. Yeah, that's got to be what it is. And by the way, a few months ago, Katy Perry received the National Equity Award for her LGBTQRSTUVWXYZ activism from the Human Rights Campaign.
So thank you so much for this incredible, humbling award. I gotta say, there's no other community that has done more to shape who I am today, and there is no other community that I believe in more than you. So I stand with you, and I know that we stand together against discrimination, whether it be in the LGBTQ community, or our Latino brothers and sisters, or the millions of Muslims in this country. I'm just a singer-songwriter, honestly. I speak my truths and I paint my fantasies into these little bite-sized pop songs. For instance, I Kissed a Girl and I Liked It. When I was growing up, homosexuality was synonymous with the word abomination and hell. A place of gnashing of teeth, continuous burning of skin, and probably Mike Pence's ultimate guest list for a barbecue. No way, no way. I wanted the pearly gates and the unlimited froyo toppings. So, most of my unconscious adolescence, I prayed the gay away at my Jesus camps. Many of the people I admire and trust and work with belong to the LGBTQ community. And without them, I'd be half of the person I am today. My life is rich in every capacity because of them.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Katy Perry in Rome just a few weeks ago. Here you go.
Happy Saturday, everyone. I'm here in Rome at the Vatican. I had to speak on meditation. I'm with my mama, my darling, and my manager, Steve. It's a great day. I'm so excited to...
Her darling, by the way, is actor Orlando Bloom, who is a proud convert to Buddhism. So I guess, since Katy was there to speak about transcendental meditation, it made sense to bring Orlando Bloom, the Buddhist, along as well to the Eternal City. So, thanks. Thank you very much, Pope Francis. Really, really, sir, you have outdone yourself this time. I mean, Christian moms and dads the world over spend pretty much every waking moment these days trying to protect their little kids from the sex and the sewage of Christophobic pop stars such as Katy Perry. And now there you are, Papa Bergoglio, our Holy Father in Rome, honoring this pagan, this proud apostate daughter, by the way, of Christian pastors. Both her mother and father are Christian pastors. This pop star who loves to tell her adoring little fans all about how she doesn't believe in heaven or hell anymore, and she's spiritual, but she's not religious, and how she left Christ, and she left the church, and she left her Christian family far behind, and she now travels the world singing about raunchy sex and cannibalism. Yes, I'm not kidding. Cannibalism. And no, don't Google it. But yeah, she's got a video out about cannibalism. So she's really something. She's a delicate young thing. And oh, by the way, she donates tens of thousands of dollars to Planned Parenthood. Not only does she donate it, but she's very public about it. And she encourages all her fans to donate to Planned Parenthood as well. And then, of course, there's the obvious. She gives concerts dressed like a little trollop. I mean, I saw one image, which I won't even put up on the screen for fear of scandal, but there's Katy running around the stage with a couple of strategically placed lollipops for her costume. Okay, so that's what we're dealing with here. For those of you who are not paying attention, God bless you, not paying attention to Katy Perry. That's what we're talking about. She was invited to speak at the Vatican, nice little personal meeting with the Pope, because she had to be there to speak on meditation. Now, let's not forget the other side of the story, that since 2015, Katy Perry has been attempting to purchase a Catholic convent out in Los Angeles. Now, the local archbishop out there, who's a nutter, he sees the dollar sign, so he agreed to allow Katy Perry to try to purchase this building, but there's two beautiful little nuns who reside in the convent still. What's left of the convent after the great springtime of Vatican II. We got a couple ladies out there, a couple of nuns, and they're quite sure, they're quite convinced that they own the property. They spent their whole lives in the property, serving God and taking care of the place. So they're fighting this sale. They've been fighting this sale for a long time. So what happens? Katy Perry, she filed a lawsuit against the two nuns, the two Catholic nuns. And this past March, one of the nuns, Sister Catherine Ross Holtzman, died after collapsing in the courtroom from cardiac arrest. She was 89 years old. And this incident literally killed her. And after that, Katy Perry was able to purchase the property. She now owns the convent, but the surviving nun, Sister Rita Callanan, has filed an appeal to, wait for it, Pope Francis, trying to get her convent back and keep her convent for the church. She went to the Pope. And what do you suppose Pope Francis did? Of course, he just went ahead and invited Katy Perry to speak at a high-profile, prestigious conference in the Vatican, hosted by the Pontifical Council for Culture and the Cura Foundation. You can't make this stuff up. So to hell with the two sweet little penguins out in Los Angeles trying to save their convent. Who cares about that? Katy Perry speaking to the princes of the church and world-renowned journalists in the Vatican.
So what I'd like to do now is introduce, there's so much I could say about her other than some pretty significant numbers. I think I have 13 people on my Twitter account. Katy Perry was the first person globally to surpass 100 million Twitter followers. She has sold, these numbers, 18 billion streams. She has sales of more than 40 million albums and 125 million tracks. I taught her to meditate in 2010. She's a very dear friend. Please welcome the wonderful, wise Katy Perry.
Good morning. Hi, Bobby.
So we're going to go right to it. Why do you meditate?
So I knew that I had to take care of my mental health and my mind, which is, the greatest asset in my body besides my heart. And I knew I had to protect it. And so Bobby was able to teach me meditation in India.
And we need to let people know, we need to break down some of the boundaries, the misunderstandings about this meditation and meditation in general. And 100 million people really trust Katy Perry. So I am very grateful to you because your words, 600,000 young kids have learned to meditate, and a lot of it because of your words. This particular meditation, transcending, which just means settling down. I one time said transcendental meditation. The woman said, "Oh my God, what is transcendental meditation?" Transcendental. First of all, it just means to transcend, which means to settle down. And she said,
This takes care of your mind. And I notice when I meditate that my whole brain kind of opens up. It feels like a halo is ignited around my head, and it's like I'm clearing out the cobwebs of my neural pathways and finding new neural pathways to ignite.
So there's your Vatican expert, ladies and gentlemen, lecturing the princes of the church on meditation based on a religion steeped in pantheism. Again, you can't make this up. There is no Catholic God, though, right? So maybe Katie's got a point. Atheists, they can go to heaven, and who are we to judge, right? I guess it all fits together. If you don't like this, if you don't like the implications here that I'm trying to draw tonight, fine, I don't like them either. But this person was invited to the Vatican to promote transcendental meditation, whose invocations are to the deities of the Hindu pantheon, right? This is pretty straightforward.
So Bobby was able to teach me meditation in India.
She's not a Christian. Her meditation is not Christian. We're talking about Hinduism here and the pantheon of gods that belonged rightfully to this religion. Deities, by the way, or gods, that St. Paul tells us in Corinthians, are not gods, but devils. What's Katy Perry doing in the Vatican talking about this meditation then? What's going on here? This isn't a matter of opinion. Transcendental meditation and all the implications of promoting it, it's been condemned by the church. Because it's all about being liberated from pain and suffering and finding solutions to all the human problems, and whatever else. But of course it ignores completely the existence of original sin, and it rejects the redemptive value of suffering and the existence of Christ as the Redeemer. See? There is no interior conversion going on here, but rather transcendental meditation is an attempt at liberation. It's not a remedy, but it's an escape. Its unavoidable result is the desensitization of conscience by trying to relieve not the guilt and the real disorder, but only its symptoms. And this is what is so appealing to somebody like Katy Perry. She's living a life, she's living a wretched lifestyle, but she uses this meditation to try to ease the pangs of conscience, if she has one left anymore. And aside from being completely incompatible with church teaching, transcendental meditation also doesn't seem to work too well, at least if Katy Perry's experience with TM thus far is any indication. Take a look at this poor, pathetic waif and expert on transcendental meditation.
I so badly want to be Catherine Hudson that I don't even want to look like Katy Perry anymore. It's hard because I feel ashamed that I would even have those thoughts, I'd feel that low or that depressed.
This kid needs a doctor. Certainly needs a priest, but I think she needs a doctor first. Did anyone at the Vatican even stop to think about trying to help this kid? I mean, look at her. What a mess. What a tragic mess. Did anyone try to save her? I mean, look at her body needs saving. Of course, her soul does too. Did anyone try to reach out to her to try to bring her to Christ? While she was in the Eternal City, while she was giving a conference within a stone's throw of the bones of St. Peter, did anyone try to reach her? And that this misguided, misinformed, undereducated pro-abort, pro-gay marriage, pro-Planned Parenthood, psychological, spiritual, and moral little mess in a dress was invited to speak at the Vatican as an honored expert. This is scandal such as probably we've never seen in the church. Did Alexander VI ever do something like that? Maybe, but oh my gosh, it's certainly on the same level as this. Although I doubt that the Borgia popes, that Alexander was having his concubine give lectures to the princes of the church. Think about this for a moment. Francis took a self-avowed apostate who says she doesn't believe in religion, is a promoter of homosexuality and gay marriage, a public donor to Planned Parenthood, and an outspoken advocate of promiscuity, and he honored her. This is inexcusable. So here's the question for you. If you're the Pope, you're a father, you're a priest, your job is to lead souls and to not scandalize souls. If you're the Pope, Why would you invite something like this to the Vatican? Why doesn't it cross your mind that this might cause scandal? That's why I think this story is actually bigger than many of the things that we've talked about and reported on down here in the past involving Pope Francis.